What is going on, 5-9 gamers, and welcome back to the 5-9 mobile channel. Now, with the worldwide download celebration quickly approaching over here on Global and JP Dokkan, I figured now would be a good time for us to go ahead and look at the past year or so of banners and kind of give what a rating for each banner, right? So I'm not alone today, and with me I have a very special guest. I run out of titles to give this man, so we'll just go basic. He's the man of many anime and gachas. His name is Gale Riot. How you doing today, Gale?
What's up, everybody? Worldwide's right around the corner, like Vilify said. Memorial Stones are right around the corner, so we wanted to look back at this year and talk about what banners people should have summoned on and whether they were worth it or not. So we've collated the last 19 or 20 banners across both Global and JP, and we'll be talking about how valuable they were. So Vilify, how ready are you to see where you dumped your stones into?
I'm pretty excited. I think I know where the majority of my stones went, but we kind of came up with a little bit of a system to judge if it was a smart or idea or not. So what we have today is 3 separate tiers for each one of the banners we're going to be going over, and that is the must summon tier. So these units, the unit that you're summoning for is super good, or the banner around it is also really good. We have the only a few multis where the unit is really good but the banner might not be so great, so you're only doing a couple, like the discounts or whatever, trying to be great. And then we just have the big fat skip tier. So there's nothing really too good about here. The unit is really good, but the units around it are just so bad that it's not even worth it. So there were a couple of banners on here that I probably should have skipped, but I didn't. But
Yep, that is true. So should I have as well, to be honest, over on Global. The one big thing as well here is that Vilify plays JP, I play Global. So there is obviously going to be that separation factor as well, because some of the banners do have a Global and JP version, which we will talk about a little bit. But I think we should get into the first banners, and what better way to start than the worldwide celebration ones, right, Vilify?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start with what I think most people were the most excited for, and that is Super Saiyan Goku himself. Now, I know there are Frieza fans, but Super Saiyan Goku is just like the face of Dragon Ball, and obviously, I think more people are going to be more inclined to summon for him. But when we look at this banner, you see a couple of things that are like, whoa, I don't know about this one, player. And that is the Piccolo, you got Bardock, Namek Goku, Kid Goku. Transforming Goku, I don't remember if we knew his EZA was coming or not.
I think we did. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was either Frieza or Goku first. I'm pretty sure
Frieza came first, I think.
Yeah. I think Frieza came first.
That means the other one's coming, right?
Exactly, yep.
Okay, so yeah, that transforming Goku EZA does help, but if you want to go ahead and look at it from the perspective of a veteran player, there's a good chance that the featured LRs on this banner are already rainbowed or have a couple dupes in them. Yep. So it's like, really, you're just summoning to try and get Namek Goku and get out of dodge. But obviously that's not the easiest thing in the world. GT Goku's also a good pull, but overall, this is not the greatest banner in the world, so we're gonna call it a must summon just because of Namek Goku. But this banner, is not the best in the world, I'd say. Yeah,
the one thing I also want to add on top of that is, if you're a beginning player, this banner is really good because you get so many units under Goku's leader skill with like LR Gohan, the Vegeta, the GT Goku, transforming Goku, and Bardock as well. So in that regards, it's great. And transforming Goku, of course, I should have mentioned him. But yeah, overall, I'd say it's a very much a must summon purely because of Namek Goku. But of course, for veteran players, there is obviously that deliberation as well. Let's go on to Frieza now. Frieza. Now this banner was much better compared to Goku's, in my opinion, because you had the likes of STR Vegeta, which at the time and still to this day, a lot of people rate STR Vegeta much higher than Buhan. You had the likes of GT Vegeta, you had Fizz Angel Frieza, the tech transforming Frieza as well. All units that are very good and very useful. And then on top of that, full power Frieza. At the time, there was deliberation whether or not he was the best unit in the game versus UI Goku. And then you had an amazing support along him with third form Frieza. This was definitely a must summon compared to at least Super Saiyan Goku, right, Vilify?
Yeah, and it's like at the same time too, it's like STR Cooler you could 100% like pull and not be too upset about it. Now Metal Cooler obviously is another story, but yeah. You said the TURs here are really good. The LRs, Cell still has some Super Battle Road usage if you want to get technical. STR Vegeta is pretty good and stuff like that. But I think at the time this banner was definitely the better of the two. And one thing you have to remember, especially with the global version, is that these worldwide download celebration units only come around. They don't come back around until the yearly anniversary on the next year. So these came out August 2021. They're not coming back till July 2022. So this is the time to summon for them because you're not going to be able to get them with coins until almost the next year.
Yes, that's
why we
very
call
good
these must
consideration.
summons.
Yep, that is very, very good. And a very good point, I should say. So definitely these worldwide celebration units must summons. Now, let's move on to some normality, I suppose. Actually, not really normal. We're jumping all the way to Golden Week with Cell. We have these jumbled up in a random order. We obviously started with worldwide just to make it a little bit easier, but after that, it's completely random. So we have Cell, the first form. Of course, this was Golden Week. There was a little bit of a difference between Global and JP. Of course, Global didn't have the New Year's units. They didn't have Goku and Kid Buu. We had Super Vegeta and Kailyn Khalifa for, Gohan and Cell's banners respectively, right? So, Vilify, what do you think about this banner?
The Cell banner, especially on the global side of things, is kind of a little bit tricky, but I'd say the JP side, Super Saiyan 2 Goku alone, is almost like, if we just look at the direct upgrade from Super Saiyan 2 Goku from Kailyn Khalifa, it's night and day. But the rest of the banner is just okay, and obviously you have 3 really good TURs when you see here, right, where we got Tech Gohan, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and then Cell. And then you have Janemba, who's okay, and then you go over here to this side, it's like Tech Gohan, Janemba, and Cell, and then Kailyn Khalifa. They're just not the best in the world, and I think it just kind of constitutes for both versions being just only a few multis.
Yep, I agree. I absolutely agree. It's not a phenomenal banner, and especially if you were on global as well, with only a month and a half away from worldwide, not worldwide, sorry, but the anniversary. That was also one more reason why it was a little bit more trickier to summon, and a lot of people just recommended using, the 3+1 or discounts and just hightailing it out of there pretty much, right? It made sense in that regards. So let's move on to the next banner, and it is the RF Goku and Vegeta. This is not on global yet. Of course, this will be coming right after the worldwide celebration, most likely, or it should be a little bit after that, most likely. But this banner, on paper value, it doesn't look bad, but then you look at the last couple of SSRs and it's not that hot. What do you think, Vilify, as somebody who summoned on this banner? Or I don't know if you did actually.
Yeah, I got one Angel Golden Frieza, so
yeah, it sounds about right. What do you think though?
A little bit of a biased perspective here, but I'm not huge on this banner. Obviously, the Resurrection F Goku is really cool, and the androids being here is nice as well. But just the dip off in quality from Angel Golden Frieza to the next unit is just so like dramatic. Between Beerus and Jiren just being featured units on a banner in 2022 is disgusting. And I would just say that I guess the androids, Super Vegeta and Goku alone are just enough to, maybe let's throw a couple multis at it and go from there, but I can't call this a must summon. But with the TURs being pretty good on this list and it only being 7 featured units, I would say that, maybe you could get away with summoning a little bit on it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was STR Jiren not getting his EZA and being on this banner still. Maybe if they had it in Golden Frieza, I know his EZA isn't that great, but if in Golden Frieza was on this banner, maybe things would have been a little bit different, right? Super Vegeta has also aged out a lot, so we will be talking about that in particular when we get to his banner, because obviously Global had his banner this year, which is crazy to think about, but his value has dipped in quality in massive amounts, I would say, so that's also something to consider. Overall, this banner, we want to give it probably only a few multis, maybe a skip as well for a lot of people, I think, but I think that 17 and 18 RF Goku, they make it up. I feel they do make it up a little bit. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now this is of course this year's Tanabata banner. It's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Super Saiyan Trunks. Now the one thing we were discussing before recording this video was that we thought all DFELR should be must summons, but then you see this banner and it's like, maybe not. It becomes a lot more problematic because a lot of these units, once they get their EZAs, it's a different story entirely, but we can't really judge it upon when they're gonna get their EZAs. Sure, if they got it in the same celebration, it's a different point, but like in Goku Black, Go Bros, Kefla, SSB Kaioken Goku, they're not great units, and even then you can make an argument that Goten and Trunks, the Blue Boys, and Kailyn Khalifa, Kailyn Khalifa are much better than what I've given these two guys, but yeah, it's just overall not a great banner at all, right, Vilify?
Yeah, to me this banner flat out sucks.
Okay.
The TURs, Goku and not Goku, Goten and Trunks are like the only somewhat passable unit to me. Same thing with Kailyn Khalifa, but STR Kefla in Goku Black and STR Kaioken Blue were just straight up unusable. The Dokkan Fest LRs, unfortunately, aside from Trunks and Vegeta being the best unit in the game, they've all aged a bit. Tech Gogeta never really had his moment, unfortunately. Like, the most fun with him was seeing his animations and talking about how good they were, but just his active skill condition in today's meta just does not work at all, and it didn't really work at the meta at the time, especially with the God event either. So I would just say that Trunks and Vegeta are worth at most only a few multis. Obviously, as the best unit in the game, I would say, yeah, that's like must summon territory, but this banner is just so bad that it holds it back.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's better to just wait for it, especially if you're on a global player. We're going to be getting it in November or December, I should say. And by the time, you know, they come back, which is March, it's only a 3-month gap. If you're a global player, you can easily skip this banner in all honesty. But of course, I think just because it is Trunks and Vegeta and the fact that they're the best unit in the game, there's no discussion about it, quite literally. You want to try and give at least a few multis there. So we'll give it a few multis. It'll be right in the middle of the park. We move on to Pan, a very recent release, just coming out on JP about a week and a half ago. And I mean, just the banner alone, I mean, outside of Future Trunks, I think this is a must summon in all honesty. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you said it really well that, you know, just looking at the quality of TUR here is now, obviously there's no LRs, but you just look at how good the TURs are. I mean, the argument right now, especially if you are well into with the community as of when we are recording this, is Ginyu and Pan. And the Ginyu and Pan argument is going to rage on for what feels like forever, but I don't think what nobody is arguing though is the fact that no matter what you have them in, they're TUR 1 and 2. And then you have three very, very passable TURs with Gogeta and the GT unit. So the GT unit's right there. And then you have Trunks and Giru, and as well as Pan. I mean,
yep.
you could make a solid GT Heroes team with just all the units on this banner alone. And then obviously, you know, you kind of got to work around for the 5th unit, but, you know, Pan does have an additional leader on her skill, or what is it? Goku or Vegeta, right? You could put a Goku family or a Vegeta family unit in there, and it would work just fine. So I'm going to put this banner as a must summon. I think, you know, especially with the worldwide download celebration coming up, things are a little bit tricky, but when you are summoning on this banner, your stones are not being wasted in vain, in my opinion. I think it's an amazing banner.
Agreed, absolutely. Like I said, the only weakness in this banner is Future Trunks, and that's personally because I feel like he's aged horribly. I feel like the others, you can make an argument of how they've aged and how beautifully they've aged, but Future Trunks is probably the only weakness here. But outside of that, you cannot deny the fact that TUR 1 and 2, like Vilify said, are on this banner, makes it a must summon in my opinion, 100%. So definitely well worth it, well worth your stones. They knew what they were doing putting this banner right before the worldwide. They definitely knew what they were doing when it came to designing this banner, basically. Let's move on to another banner that isn't as great, Kid Gohan. I think this one is a very, as much as we love Kid Gohan and Garlic Jr. is a solid support unit for Extreme side, Gogeta's decent. The rest of the banner is not inspiring at all, and especially the JP and global options and the alternatives, I should say the differences between the two. Even then, back then, we didn't know about Trillis' EZA. It was still about a year away, basically, or at least 9 months away. So that doesn't make a difference as well. At the time, Trillis being on the banner was kind of questionable. And Kaioken Blue Goku is on every banner at this point, clearly, based on the past couple of banners we've seen. So this banner isn't that great. It's very much a skip. What do you think, Vilify?
Yeah, I think you said most of things pretty well, right? I think there is some beauty in the fact that it's, what's it called? No, never mind. I was going to say it was a 6-featured banner, but a 6-featured unit banner, but then there's the guys on the bottom.
Yeah, the guys on the bottom.
It is a 7-featured unit banner, so, you know, it's not too bad. But, you know, if we look at this one, I'm trying to find it on our little list here. Yeah, just the TURs on this one are just so bad, right? Like, Future Gohan is no good, unfortunately. Piccolo, you know, he's good on the Namekian team, but what does that mean, right?
Yeah.
It's still, you know, a pile, you know what, with glitter on it, right? Piccolo is just the glitter.
Yep.
You know, you got Android 13, who's not really good anymore, and then you've got Kaioken Blue Goku, haha, and Turles at the time. Just, you know, we didn't know about his EZA, so context, you know, you got to put that into consideration. So we are going to go ahead and put this one as one of the very few skips on this list, but it is a skip nonetheless.
Yep, for sure. Let's move on to 17 and 18. And this banner, I think, was really good, both on JP and Global. JP, of course, had Broly and Super Vegeta. Global had Kid Gohan and GT Goku. And coming in off of Gohan, Gohan's a fantastic unit. So for me, I think this banner was well worth it. Both banners are very similar in power. I know people will probably say, like, oh, Broly's better than, you know, GT Goku, but I think Kid Gohan's better than Super Vegeta. So I think overall, with how this banner looked, Future Gohan's EZA was also around that time. I would say this was a summon more so, and we've spoken about it. This is a 7-featured banner, but like, I mean, the quality in this is phenomenal, right?
Yeah, I would definitely agree that it's just insane to think about how good this one is, right? This one I feel like is on the upper tier of, like, if you want to call it like an only a few multis tier, I'd say this one is on the very, very upper end. It's tough to say that a TUR, especially a unit like on the androids team being a must summon, it is really tough to put it in there. But like you said, the value is there. The banner unit is super, super good. We didn't know about future Gohan's EZA, unfortunately, but both those units not really usable. But the 4 TURs that headline this banner are just so good that I'd say there's no way to skip, but to say it's a must summon is also a bit of a stretch to me.
Yeah, agreed. But I do believe, I mean, even at the time, future Gohan was still usable before his EZA. That was the beauty of it, I feel, right? Like, I think he was still very much usable. Of course, his EZA just boosted him up to being one of the best units available to be used on any team, in all honesty. But yeah, I don't think we need to talk too much about these two banners coming up. Yeah, we got the Gogeta. We have both these banners here. Now, of course, we have to also acknowledge that Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta's banner is far and away far superior in our opinion, right? I think the only weakness, if there is any, is probably this guy over here, SSBE Vegeta, basically, right? Outside of that, if you look at the rest of the banner units and everything, it's phenomenal. I think these two banners are must summons. Of course, Gogeta and Goku's banner is a little bit weaker purely because from 5-year LRs onwards, it's a mess in our opinion, right? But overall, still very solid banners and definitely must summons just based on the LRs alone.
Yeah, I mean, even before we knew about the EZAs, these banners were must summons in my opinion, but we kind of had a hunch that Dokkan Fest LRs were going to EZA during the celebration, so like, the Int Vegeta and Physical Gogeta, there was a good shot that was going to happen, and then the Super Saiyan 4s were just kind of a cherry on top.
Yep.
But, they looking back on it, they did EZA, so I guess we could talk about it a little bit, but we don't want to, like, hammer that home, right?
Exactly.
So, must summon for sure.
Yep. Now we move on to our Tanabata banner on Global, of course, or the thank you banner, and that is Tech Gogeta, or Goku and Vegeta Angel. This banner was definitely more so on the side of a skip, more so than anything else, but we have decided to give it a few multis because even though Tech Gogeta is not really, live the best life in this meta, let's put it that way, I guess. I think overall he's still valuable and he was still usable, especially back then when, the defense versus offense side of arguments were happening. We were talking about how STR Vegeta was much more offensive, but Tech Gogeta had that defense. Obviously, things have changed quite drastically and, we've seen what's happened since then. This banner is definitely weak, but Tech Gogeta, I think, makes up for it. What do you think, Willify?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The TURs here are a little bit suspect, but I'd say it's on the, if I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 6.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like, Pycon, usable. Janemba, usable. Goten and Trunks, usable. Int Gotenks, he's a super battle road unit. It's kind of weird to evaluate him, but AGL Gogeta and Int Gogeta have just completely aged out.
Yep.
The two units are really good. AGL Gotenks is a super battle road killer, and then the Dokkan Fest LRs are like the blue boys are kind of suspect, and the Go Bros are just another one of those aha units, right? Like,
yeah,
they just need their EZA.
Yeah, they need their EZA now. I mean, they came out. Well, technically, they came out before the Super Saiyan 4s on Global. They came out after for you guys, but on JP that is. But yeah, they're due for an EZA. They're very much due for an EZA. I think only a few multis, and when we say only a few multis, probably discounts if you're on Global, right? That was the main thing. If you were on Global, the discounts would have been the best go-to, and then you can use coins later on, of course, when we get to our same day unit, basically, right? But I think it's still a very solid banner nonetheless. Let's move on to Ginyu. This is a very interesting one because Ginyu has a lot of units here that are very good for him, specifically, well, his banner units primarily, but that's about it. The other units on this banner are what drag it down a little bit. I'd say the first 4 units are phenomenal, and then you get to Kefla, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, and Namek Goku, and that's where things start to go downhill. What do you think?
Yeah, have you noticed there's a unit that's on a common denominator between all these banners where you're just like, I don't know.
This boy right here.
Yeah. Yeah, so, the TURs, it falls off pretty quickly, but, you do have a 4 in 7 chance of having a usable unit with this banner. So I would say, at the very least, it is an only a few multis category banner. On the JP side, things aren't too different. But who is Kailyn Khalifa replacing? I just looked at
17
it.
and 18. 17 and 18.
17 and 18. Yeah. So the global version definitely got the upgrade there because 17 and 18 are just so much better than Kailyn Khalifa. But it's still this unit. So the banner on JP for me, it was definitely more of like a maybe try and get Ginyu in a rotation and that's it. Not a rotation, but just in a couple multis and get out. because Kailyn Khalifa, it's not good. The 3 to 7 chance is just not, it's just scary. 4 and 7, I like my odds way better there. And, you know, if you do get one of these banner units, then it's nice because now you're saving it for, like, you don't have to pull them later. And if you do get Ginyu, then you're good because the units that you want to pair with Ginyu are going to be on every banner going forward. So I would say at least a few multis on this banner.
Yeah, yep, for sure. I absolutely agree. And especially because the timing it came out on Global, it was right before Anniversary. It was a lot more trickier for that reason as well. And even though 17 and 18 were there, I would say a few multis makes the most sense here as well for me. As much as I want to say it's a must summon just because of Ginyu, you can't do that. It's only a few multis here as well, especially if just do the discounts pretty much and get out of there, in all honesty. All right, let's go on to Majin Vegeta now. Majin Vegeta. This is a very interesting banner, in all honesty, because I really like this banner, to be quite honest. You have Majin Vegeta, Broly, SSBE Vegeta, who we knew was getting his EZA. It was confirmed before the banner came out. I really like this guy. I really like this banner. I think, however, it was only a few multis just because of the rest of the units on this banner, though.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like you said, we didn't know how good AGL Blue Vegeta was going to be, but we knew the EZA was coming. And with Power Creep in 2022, we're like, whoa, this unit could be really, really good. And he ended up being really, really good. But you said, like there's the chance that you get Bardock and that int Blue Vegeta, man. He is just looking you dead in the face, like, haha, you know you're gonna pull me. I pulled him twice. But, you know, he's coming. So, yeah, I'd say, you know, Majin Vegeta's really good. Tech Gogeta is passable. Int Broly's pretty good, and Evolution Blue Vegeta's EZA alone make this at least an only a few multis banner.
Yep, agreed. Absolutely agreed. Now, let's move on to the other side. We spoke about Kid Buu earlier on, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, actually, we didn't speak about Kid Buu, but yeah, I think we talked about him on the Cell banner. That's what I'm thinking of. We're getting too caught up in all of these banners. But we'll combine Kid Buu and Goku together in a way, because Goku's banner, in all honesty, you do not summon on this banner. What are you doing if you were planning on summoning on this banner? Especially because on JP specifically, it was right before the anniversary. On Global, it was right before the Golden Week celebration. So both ways, this banner was utterly a skip no matter what. I mean, some of the units on this banner, we've spoken about Janemba, somewhat usable. Gotenks is a fantastic SBR unit. Bojack's alright, he needs his partner to get an EZA, the LR in Bojack. But the rest of this is just not that great, right?
Yeah, quick callback. When we looked at this banner, we both got an audible. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like, we were just like, yeah, this one is no bueno.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all. It wasn't good at all. And I remember everybody telling people to skip because this banner was not good at all.
Yeah, and especially with Annie coming down the road, and like we just talked about those banners. Whee!
Yeah, it wasn't. It was definitely a weird step. They should have probably baited us more with it, but they didn't. They let us off the hook so easily with this banner. Kid Buu's was a little bit better. You had Pycon, Tech Gohan, Cell. We've spoken about being somewhat usable. RF Boys is okay, not RF, but Blue Bros is okay. These two are meh. There's not that great. I mean, Majin Buu, if you can get him in the right situation, he can be good, but otherwise no. I think this was more of only a few multis compared to at least Goku. Goku was just a straight up skip. Kid Buu at least was only a few multis.
Yeah. There's an it factor here, and it's the green boy, Mr. Pycon, right? Yep. Yeah, no, it's Tech Gohan. Tech Gohan is really what kind of like drives this one to being not a skip. I think if Tech Gohan isn't on this banner, it's a fat skip.
Yeah, I think that would also be a game changer for sure. 100% agreed on that one. Let's move on to the next one. Dokkan Fest Kailyn Khalifa. I swear, man, I've had enough of this dude, bro. Why is he here again? Bro, every single time. I mean, okay, Tech Khalifa's banner, I'm not gonna lie, it's very much I think it's only a few multis because of Videl and Tech Hits EZA we knew was coming at the time. We didn't know how good it would have been. Ended up being pretty decent, and Gogeta. But I honestly want to probably change my opinion to skip now that I'm looking at this, not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm a man who respects the opinion of Gale Riot. I'm not going to be difficult about it. If you think it's a skip, that's fine. Yeah. I would say if you really are a Kailyn Khalifa fan, I think you can 100% get away with that.
Yep.
Again,
bro,
look who's back, right?
Look who's back. And obviously, banner unit-wise as well. This was probably one of the worst banner units we had in recent memory, right? Obviously, we've spoken about some recent banner units like AGL Goku Black not being unbelievably crazy or, anything of that that sort, especially compared to when we place them in comparison to Raccoon and Guldo and Burter and Jace. It's a little bit hard anyways, but like Kaba was so far and away from everybody else as well at the time. It was ridiculous. So I think
in the way he was good, right? Yeah, like he was like
no,
the best unit in the game.
listen. Minato can keep saying that, not us. We can't say that. We have to be honest with ourselves,
Okay.
all right? But no, I don't think this banner was that great at all, personally.
Nah, yeah, not great is definitely a good way to describe it. You know, must summon, definitely not. Only a few multis, Must skip, probably.
Yep.
That's about as
pretty much.
probably. Yeah.
All right, we move on to Super Vegeta. Now this is obviously on global, particularly we're looking at, and we got him in around, I think, January or February, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around then. And his banner isn't that bad, in all honesty. You could probably get away with summoning for a few multis. Cell obviously is phenomenal now with his team. At the time we didn't know that, but obviously they were leading up to it, we didn't realize it. And Super Vegeta was pretty solid as well at the time. Again, now in Red Zone he's a little bit iffy. I think the star of this banner, more so than anybody else, is probably Broly, sorry, I should say. He's probably the best.
You were so ready to talk about Tech Broly and how amazing he is.
Listen, I'm really hoping his easy is good, okay? But that's another topic for another day. In Broly, however, was really, really solid, and is still solid to this day, even in all the Red Zone stages. So yeah, that's what I would say about this banner. What do you think?
Yeah, I really don't have any like just straight up disagreements here. One thing I do see, you know, I'm not, what's it called? Yeah, like I don't know, man. I don't even know if only a few multis is even worth it.
You want to say skip? This. Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Like
as well.
Bojack, Beerus, SSJ2 Vegeta, and Physical Vegeta. It's like,
yeah,
Cell is like okay, right? But we didn't know how good the Cell thing was going to be at the time. We didn't know Physical Cell's EZA was coming, and a Dokkan Fest Cell was coming. And Super Vegeta, like, he has his, you know, the SBR utility and whatnot, but, I don't know. I'm not too high on this banner. I would almost call it a skip.
No, I agree. I think I absolutely agree. Like I said, the star of the show is in Broly, and that's crazy to think when you look at, you know, he's not even the main banner unit, you know. It's crazy in that regards, but I think it's a skip as well. There's just like there's too many units in here that are just scares. Like, you know, when we were talking about it, like there's 3 out of 7 or 4 out of 7. This is pretty much like a 2 out of 7 units you want to pull here, mainly Broly and maybe the Cell, obviously, to go alongside the AGL Cell. Super Vegeta's lost his usage nowadays, especially in the more harder forms of content.
Well, yeah, what I was gonna say is like SBR, he's still like a guaranteed stun and a guaranteed crit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, value. Yeah, he's become an SBR unit though. That's the thing. He's already an SBR unit.
Like I've always said that. I've always said that, right? Like if the bar for a unit is he's an SBR killer, it's like okay.
Yeah, it's not great. But the thing is, a lot of these red zone killers are also great SBR killers. I mean, look at Pan, for example. Pan is unbelievably useful for SBR because of her stun as well, right? Her great chance to stun on Super. So, I don't know. I think it's a bit of a problem there when you're just only an SBR killer nowadays, I feel as well, right? That's the main
because like you said, right? If a unit, guess what? If a unit kills it in SBR, guess where, or in Red Zone, guess where else they're going to kill it? Everywhere else in the game.
Yep.
So, you have to put that in mind. And I think you do bring up a good point, but yeah, I don't see, yeah, this one, I'd say it's a skip.
Yep.
Now that I'm just looking at it more.
All right, let's go into the next Golden Week banner that we kind of ignored in the initial one with Cell. This is Goku and Gohan. I like his banner, not gonna lie. Well, actually, no, I've looked at the last 2 units.
This is the JP version, keep that in mind.
Yeah, the JP version. I looked at the last 2 units. I completely forgot Videl and Future Gohan were in here. And yeah, we had Super Vegeta. I'm not sure. Goku Gohan are phenomenal as a unit, right? Let's get that straight. And I think Incel is great as well. Pycon's good, but that's a 3 out of what? 9 units? Wait, how many is this? 1, wait, 3, 8. Sorry, it's 8 units. 2 out of 8. Maybe the Vegeta as well. I've actually not pulled this Vegeta, so I can't comment too much about him. But I know that a lot. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say he's pretty decent to okay. So I don't know. I think this is only a few multis as well, just because it is, well, a dual Dokkan Fest and 3+1s are there. It's decent in that regards.
I've always found 3+1s to be the most dangerous thing ever, because a man will do anything to get that free multi, right? Where it's like, all right, let me go scrounge up this extreme Z area, play it 10 times to get that extra stone, and do all that fun stuff. So yeah, I definitely would agree with you on that. I'd say only a few multis here.
Yep, I absolutely concur on that one. And we had to save the best for last, of course. My goat, Raditz's banner.
Must summon.
Yeah, and I don't know about this one. It's a fat skip, bro. It's a fat skip. It's a.
What makes you say that? Please elaborate. Why is it a must skip?
Mate, Raditz exists here. Future Trunks is there. Kid Goku, Piccolo. I'm sorry, lad.
Well, Raditz is an AOE, bro. He attacks all the enemies on the battlefield.
You know what? You can keep him if you want. You can keep him. I don't know about this.
I did, yeah. I can't say I summoned for this guy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did, to be honest. Especially because I think it was, for you guys on JP especially, it was right before the anniversary.
Sunblade has him.
How did Sunblade get him? I know Sunblade's been suffering. That's probably why he's not been pulling anything recently. Because
it's all karma.
It's all karma, bro. Yeah, I think this is a skip. I don't think we need to comment too much about this.
Agree,
like, yeah, it's one thing to do it. One thing I forgot to add. I actually forgot to include this banner. I don't think we spoke about it. For some reason, it's not in this list. But I will scroll all the way down to get us to that point, and it's Trunks' teen. I don't think we actually spoke about his banner.
Nah, yeah, it's funny you say that with the amount of trouble you went to pull this banner up earlier.
Yeah, considering I went to Trunks' teen Future and everywhere else, yeah, clearly. Yeah, I mean, this is a skip. I mean, I don't know why I pulled it up. We could have easily said it was a skip. Look at the banner, man. It's useless. The main banner, the main unit has aged out tremendously. The banner unit is better than the main unit in this day and age, arguably.
I was gonna say that. The banner unit's the best unit on this banner.
Literally. And in GT, Vegeta is probably the second best one here. The rest of them are utterly useless. Once they get there easy, this is a different topic altogether. But at the time, when you were summoning, there was no easy 8. This banner was utter garbage on global. JP, if I recall correctly, you guys had Kid Gohan. I mean, that is made it better. Obviously, Kid Gohan is probably the best banner unit now on this banner. But even then, it's just like, no, you don't want to take the risk of getting any of these guys. Future Trunks is probably the worst aged unit, in all honesty. I think he's aged horribly, and nobody uses him. Nobody even talks about him in this day and age. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those units like we talked about it earlier before recording. He gets worse after he transforms, and whenever that's a sign for a unit, it's like, ooh.
Yeah,
Android 13, who's also been a repeat offender on here, is the same case of that. It's like he loses his defensive prowess when he transforms, so what's the point?
Exactly. It's just really, really weird and a very, very, very bad banner. I can see why I forgot about the banner and I forgot to pull it up. But yeah, there you go. There's our banner order basically of what must summons were there, what you should have only done a few multis for, and what you should have skipped on. Let us know in the comment section down below, what did you skip out on, or what did you actually summon for instead of skipping out on, because that makes things interesting. Any banners did you skipped in here or summoned for that you should have skipped, Vilify?
I should not. I think I did one multi on Raditz. I should have done 0.
No. Oh no, that's tragic.
I went way too hard on the Tanabata banner on the JP side for Tech Gogeta.
Gotcha.
Vegeta and Trunks, I pulled them on a single, so
yeah.
We don't need to talk about it too much, but
gotta flex a little bit there.
I'm saying it late, but one thing you guys gotta do remember is, like, if maybe if we said skip your favorite character or something like that, context is everything. Summon for who you want, and if you are someone who has the expendable or is comfortable spending money on this game and you summon for everybody, that's fine. This is just from the most objective view possible of what you should and shouldn't summon on within this game. But if you find a unit more valuable than somebody else, that's fine, but please let us know. So
yep.
That's all I got for you. Anything else you got to say, Gale?
Nope, you can wrap it up if you need to.
All right, let's go ahead. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you are new, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on anything that we're doing over here on the 5-9 mobile channel. We got a lot of good stuff coming for you with the worldwide download celebration coming up. It is one of the busiest periods for Dokkan Battle. But with that being said, that's everything we got for you. Have a great day, everybody.